Hey everybody, it's Friday. Yes, we made it. We made it to the weekend. So, let me share with you what I'm currently reading. This is my book club selection. It is One Day I Saw a Black King by J.D. Mason. My book club is going to discuss this book on Sunday. What I love about this book is that J.D. Mason is a fantastic storyteller. And I love the story she tells about John King and Connie Rogers. They both have tragic backgrounds, tragic childhoods, a past that both of them are trying to run from, and then they run smack dab into each other. When they meet, they're both still bitter from their past, scared, vulnerable. But the way JD writes them, they're so realistic to me. They are in fiction, for me, one of the most authentic romantic couples that I have read about. They are just so raw, so real, and I appreciate the way that she wrote them. The prequel is called Don't Want No Sugar. And while you can read the prequel before you read this book, which gives you more insight into the backstory of John King, you don't have to read that book to read this one. As a matter of fact, like I said, that one was a prequel. This came out first, and then she wrote Don't Want No Sugar. But yeah, I just love John and Connie. I can't wait to discuss this book with my book club. Like I said, they both come from tragic backgrounds, and they have to decide, are they going to be strong enough to let the past go and fall in love, or are they going to allow the past to distract them enough and pull them apart so that they don't settle and accept what we know to be fate, that they should be together. But anyways, very well written. Love the book. J.D. Mason's the author. Check it out. I can't remember if I gave you a review on this particular book, Somebody's Daughter by Ashley C. Ford, but I thought this book was fantastic. I thought it was very well written. She writes about coming of age and the tug of war relationship she had with her mother. You know, sometimes mothers and daughters just have this thing that goes on between them, you know, when the daughter becomes a teenager. I know my mom and I had it. I was somewhat rebellious, you can't tell me what to do, kind of attitude. Her relationship with her mom was different from that. Her mother, well, I don't want to give anything away, but I'll just say this: when I was reading this book, it made me want to call my son and ask him if I'd been a good mother to him growing up. You know, but I was scared he was going to say no. And what would I have done if he said, "No, you weren't that good," you know? But it just touched me, especially since my mom's not here. I think that's what really got me about this book, you know, since she passed away. It just made me think about those angsty teen years and that mother daughter struggle. But not only that, but for Ashley C. Ford, her father was in prison for most of her life. And she had to struggle with having an emotionally unavailable parent and then a physically unavailable parent, and how it all shaped her into the woman that she becomes. So, yeah, it's a really, really good memoir. It's short. Nonfiction November is coming up. So, this is one that you might want to check out and read for Nonfiction November. Pretty Brown Eye Reader has a review on her channel of this book. I have not watched it yet because I kind of wanted to talk about it here without watching her video first. So, this isn't, of course, an in-depth review of the book, but I enjoyed the her writing, the pace of the story, the setting. She gives a great description of the settings in this book. You can't say character development, but the depiction, I'll say, the depiction of her family members in this book seems to be authentic to me, and it's just a really good read. So y'all check out Pretty Brown Eye Reader's review. I'm going to check it out too sometime this weekend. Okay. Um, I'm also taking this book back to the library, The Girl with the Stars in Her Eyes. I never did get to it, you know. So I'm just gonna take it back. Find You First by Linwood Barclay is a suspense novel. It is about a very wealthy man. He's a millionaire. He realizes that he has a terminal illness, and he is very concerned that his offspring might be impacted by this disease as well. Now, he's not married or anything like that, but he was a sperm donor many years ago, and he's thinking, I probably have some children out there who would want to know if they have this disease. Not only that, but I'm wealthy. I want to help them out, give them a little bit of money. But little does he realize is that as he is tracking down his children, so is a killer. So he is trying to, and these are no spoilers. This is here in the description, okay? So he is trying to locate his children before the killer gets to them first. So, yeah. I've read enough Linwood Barclay books to know this isn't his best work, but I've also read enough of his books to know it isn't his worst. So I'm about midway through, and I don't quite know how I feel about the book. So the next 50 to 100 pages will let me know if I give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Right now, I'm kind of on the fence about it. So I went somewhere I had no business going, and that was a bookstore. And this first book, I really think I already have a copy of this book. I don't know. I bet if I were to dig through my shelves, I would find this book. If that is the case, I am going to give this book to a friend of mine who likes to read. But the book is Beloved by Toni Morrison. And I really do feel like I just bought this book not too long ago. I don't know why I think that, but I probably did. Um, I'm going to try to read this next year. I'm going to try, and I'm laughing because I know Brian from Bookish is smiling right now. I think this might be his favorite novel. Maybe not his favorite, but I know he loves Toni Morrison. So, Brian, I'm going to try next year. I'm going to try. Charlemagne the God, Black Privilege, Opportunities Come to Those Who Create It. I had the privilege of participating on a panel last Friday on Instagram Live with Black Readers Con, and the topic was lighthearted nonfiction. Someone mentioned this book. So when I was in the bookstore and I saw it, I just went ahead and grabbed it. It was only, $3.95. So I said, why not? But yeah, the panel was very interesting. As you know, I don't read a lot of nonfiction unless I'm reading a memoir. And I mentioned just a couple of books that I thought were lighthearted nonfiction. Um, Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, and The Legs Were the Last to Go by Diane Carroll. Lost Daughters by Mary Williams. Mary Williams is the Black adopted daughter of Jane Fonda, and my book club read that memoir several years ago, and it was pretty good. But yeah, when I saw Black Privilege in the store, since someone had mentioned it the other night, I went ahead and grabbed it. This one, I have heard nothing but good things about this book and this author. The book is Blacktop Wasteland, and the author is S.A. Cosby. And he has another book called Razorblade Tears that I heard was very good. I don't even know what this book is about. You know, I haven't even read the jacket to know what it's about, but I just, since, I kind of want to read it blind. You know what I'm saying? I just want to read it and discover on my own what the book is about. But since people were raving about him and his writing, I just had to get the book. I also got this one, The First Lady by Carl Weber. I read this book years ago, and I loaned it to somebody, never got it back. But when I saw this one in the store, I was on the fence about whether or not I was going to get it. Now I saw it was a signed copy, and I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and buy it. Now, I did meet Carl Weber. I got his autograph for his book, The Preacher's Son. He was very entertaining in person, and I enjoyed listening to him speak and going to that signing. It was really nice. And finally, I won a book on Goodreads, and I just was clicking, click, 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 because I said I never win. I would love to win something, and I won something. This book is And They Lived Happily Ever After. Truth is Sweeter Than Fiction, it says, by Therese Bahare. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this book is the first in a series. This is an advanced reader's copy. It goes on sale November 30th of this year. The premise is pretty interesting. So you have a romance author named Gaia Anders, and she dreams at night. Anything she dreams is magically written into her best-selling novels. So, yeah, she goes to sleep, she dreams, and it goes into her book. So, workaholic businessman Jacob Scott has had a crush on Gaia for as long as he could remember, but now they're unexpectedly sharing their dreams, living out their magical nighttime fantasies. It's explosive, but their waking desire um, is, they're having some issues with that. Gaia has secrets with her past that she's afraid to reveal. He has issues with his own family background, and they're wondering, can their real life romantic relationship be as hot and steamy and successful, I guess, as what they experience in the nighttime when they're dreaming. So this is a very interesting premise. It's not something that I normally would have picked up to read, but since I won the book, I need to read the book, right? So again, it goes on sale November. And so yeah, I if I can, I might try to squeeze this one in. I can't remember what my next book club read is. It might be Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston, but if it's something that's not very long to read, then I might just go ahead and read this after I finish Find You First. Let's see, what else am I reading? Oh, let me get it. It's right over there. I didn't feel like editing y'all. But look, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. Reading this with two of my friends. One of them is already retired. We were going to try to do a book club before she retired, but she already left the company. But we're going to get together at some point and discuss this book. So for those of you who have never heard of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. Where have you been? No, I'm just kidding. Can't make assumptions that everybody has read or heard of everything, right? So Margaret Simon is almost 12. Um, she likes long hair, tuna fish, the smell of rain, things that are pink. She's just moved from New York City to the suburbs. She's anxious to fit in with her new friends. So they form a secret club to talk about boys, bras, getting their first periods. Margaret is happy to belong. None of them can believe Margaret doesn't have a religion. And Margaret can't tell them the truth that she can talk to God anyway about anything that's on her mind, including Philip Leroy, the best looking boy in the 6th grade. Margaret is funny and real, so are her most personal thoughts and feelings. So I remember in 5th grade, my teacher used to read, my teacher read Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing, Super Fudge, and then I discovered this book and otherwise known as Sheila the Great, and I actually still have otherwise known as Sheila the Great. I've held on to that book all these years. So yeah, Judy Blume. On audio, I just finished listening to The Other Mrs. by Mary Kubica. Now, I really enjoyed Local Woman Missing. The Other Mrs. Whew, that almost might deserve its own video, but I thought it was well written, although it was repetitive and it was somewhat predictable, in my opinion. It wasn't as good as Local Woman Missing, but I won't say that it's a bad read. If you enjoy psychological thrillers, then I think that you would enjoy the book, but just be prepared for those things, predictability and repetition. Currently on audio, I am listening to 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, and thus far it's pretty good. It is, again, I walked into this one without knowing what it was about, but it's about two authors who um were a couple when they were younger. Some things happened, and now they've run into each other again, and sparks are flying, or maybe not. We'll just have to see. So, yeah, I think that's everything. My goodness. That was a lot. So, oh, yeah, one more thing. For those of you who have stuck around to the end, thank you. My birthday is Monday. I will be 51 years old. And I'm so appreciative of being here. I look at how many people we've lost over the last year and year and a half, how many people are gone. And I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful to be here. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I hope that you all have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Take care. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you're reading. Have a good one. Until next time, keep reading. Bye bye.